there. So today I thought I would just be distilling catnip, but instead I've been distilling some hard truths about myself and my past. So this is day 31 of Metamorphosis in Motion. I am Jean, and let's get into it. So this is a daily check-in of my midlife journey. Yesterday marked 30 days of checking in, 30 days of sober, 30 days no caffeine or no coffee. Today did actually mark, I almost forgot, today did mark the first day that I haven't had any caffeine. And I feel surprisingly good. But I mentioned catnip, and the catnip that's been distilling has, I think, made me feel a little bit sleepy, which is what catnip does. So it's either no caffeine or catnip, I'm not sure. So I said about I had to distill some hard truths about myself. Even though it was 100 degrees today and we're in excessive heat warning, I just needed to harvest catnip. I mean, my catnip is crazy huge, and so I harvested it. I did 2 harvests. I sat out and destemmed it for hydrosol, the flowers and the new leaves. And I thought, well, it's a good time for me to listen to a book, and I've been putting off listening to a book about teen eating disorders and how to help a teen with eating disorders. And I'm listening to the book, and I realize like there's this huge spotlight shining on me about, well, clearly I'm not over my own that I had as a teenager. I thought, well, I'm not engaging in those behaviors anymore, so I must be over it. Well, the truth is I've been pretty obsessed with healthy eating for my whole life, whether it was eating clean because I'm going to the gym and I'm working out. I even did a phase where I thought, oh, I'm going to be a bodybuilder, and I did that, and I did it once, like the whole training thing to get there. It's crazy eating like this clean chicken and sweet potato, measuring things out. Well, those kinds of things are actually disordered eating. We think of it as healthy eating, not according to this book. So I've had not great things to say about sugar, not great things to say about processed food, wanting to balance what we're eating. I went through a keto phase where I was eating higher fat food. It was still real food. We went through a phase where all we ate was this CSA share and all natural food that was raised on someone's farm, treated humanely, grass-fed, mostly organic. We did that. What else do we do? I've done Whole30. I've done a little bit of paleo, but I can't really kind of stick to that. Intermittent fasting for the longest time. So in my mind are all these things that are being planted in there about why any of this is good for me, right? Well, guess who's watching me go through all this? My daughter, the whole time. So is it any wonder that she's struggling right now? I don't think so. I think she could have come to that regardless, but I think maybe not as likely. Now, again, these books and doctors aren't going to say, well, you're the reason that this happened, right? They're not going to say that, because maybe it's not, maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. But I have some clear changes to make, and I am so proud that my kids know how to cook and take care of themselves. But all that's got to switch back to my cooking, sitting down as a family, eating food, and doing something that I never imagined I was going to have to do, was to encourage her to eat more. See, I had this fear that if I said, well, you have to eat the food on your plate, that she would develop an unhealthy attitude about food. Turns out it happened anyway. So now we have to do that. So it was a little bit of a day, a little bit of a realization. I'll cover this in more detail in a podcast episode. I want to present some more facts and some terminology that would be better for me to sort of have in my notes instead of trying to rely on my memory. What struck me about the book is that it was something that recommended to me by a nutritionist. I didn't stop everything and read it, but I did know it was something I had to do. What struck me is that I never would have known about it if the nutritionist hadn't recommended it to me. So there's this I think either I'm living in a bubble and no information can permeate this bubble, which seems really weird because I'm always seeking out information, but I feel like I'm in a place where I don't know these things, and I want to believe that I'm not the only one. Like somehow there's this vast amount of information that we do not possess as human beings about the right way to go about life. Otherwise it wouldn't be such a struggle all the time. There must be a right way to do it. I think I've got a clue on this because of my own history, my own past, obsessively researching this stuff, right? I go up and down, but I have a lot of times when I go dive deep into these new plans of eating, right? And it seems like we all should not have to worry about it. There should be a way to do this and not worry about gaining so much weight or being unhealthy. And I think that's the crux of it, is that we don't want to be unhealthy, generally speaking. I don't think anyone seeks to be unhealthy. I think they become unhealthy due to things that, actions we take or don't take, food that we eat or don't eat, exercise that we do or don't do, or do too much of, or do it wrong, or do the wrong workout. I mean, it can't be that hard. And I seek this knowledge of how can it just be? Like, we get up in the morning and we brush our teeth. We go to bed at night and we brush our teeth. We don't have to think about it. It's just one of those things that we do. Now, some people would argue, well, you don't really have to brush your teeth. Well, I don't know about that. I think I feel better brushing my teeth. But there are other things too, taking a shower, doing our hair. There's so many things that seem to be just the regular, we go about our day doing them. It seems like the whole eating and getting the right amount of exercise shouldn't be so complicated. I don't know. Maybe I'm just pie in the sky. So that was that. That was one of the main things. Now, to get off that topic, if you're still with me, catnip. Catnip was my herb of the day. So I am now distilling the third batch of hydrosol, and I think I have at least 2 more to go. I got honey put in jars, in little cute 1.5 ounce jars. I've got more to do, but it's all getting done. I'm feeling really good about that. The kids are still at camp and they look like they're having a blast, so that's really makes me feel really happy. The schedule of our daily routine is coming up, and that is actually something I think I should work on tonight and tomorrow. Things when trying to start a business, I have been a little more unstructured. I'm fairly unstructured in general, and I'm not sure that's a really good thing. So the kids have had freedom to figure stuff out, and I had been operating under the, well, if you let them figure it out, then they'll, not without guidance, of course. I'm not just like, do whatever. No, that's not how we're doing it. But they've got a lot of freedom with homeschooling and unschooling. But I try to keep a certain amount of awareness to what's going on and whether something's working or not, because I don't have all the answers. And it seems like a little more structure is going to be beneficial to all of us. And that's going to be me. I've got to put the schedule out there, but I have the strength and fortitude to do it and be able to, I don't know what the right word is, push or be solid, like hold my ground when I get pushback. That's what I'm looking for. I can hold my ground when I get pushback. And that's something coming up. So there's a lot of things that are going to change that I think is going to be highly resisted, and I will keep you posted on how that goes. I'll also put that in a more longer form podcast, kind of how I decided to do it and what the outcome is. It's not going to be great the first week, I'm sure, but as time goes on, I think I'm going to see a lot of happy improvements. So that's my day. That's my day today. I'm still drinking my lemon balm lemonade. It's kind of my thing now. I'm going to try some new mocktails soon. But right now this was easy. Lemon balm's been in season, so why not take advantage of it? It's kind of like that eat local. Well, drink your local herbs. Well, again, cheers today too. I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. If you got something out of this, let me know. If you have, undergone your own struggles and have some words of wisdom, I'd love to hear them. The book says it takes a village, and I don't have one, so it's going to be a little interesting to see how this all plays out. And to keep posted on my daily check-ins and also the podcast coming up. And I do have some herb videos I'm working on, so that stuff's going to come out too, and bees and things like that. So if that's your jam or you want to know more about it, smash the subscribe button and be notified of when they're posted. So until tomorrow, take care. I'll see you then.